right. The champions here loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. I want to send a shout out to Lennox. I sat there, had him going with that last one. You're doing good, man. You're doing good. He's just rolling this through there. He's rolling this through now, man. You good, man. Moved up in the draft to get him, man. You know, he's a newcomer, man. New guy, you know. But he asked me earlier. He said, man, you've been talking. You need some water. He was really sympathetic to that because, you know, I normally talk slow. But it's like, man, I said, man, what am I going to talk about? I talk slow. He said, you need some water? You know, I got some water right now. So I said, no, I'm good. I got some water. Let me take a sip. It's good water. You know why this water is good? Because I was able to get it. I was able to get it because I had it. It was right there. The champ is here, loved by many, hated by few, respected by all, second to none. Did a earlier visit to West Dallas. Yeah, West Dallas, which is located south of the Trinity River, but west of downtown. And, you know, I was like driving through, and one of my extreme colleagues had did a special project in West Dallas as well. And they were driving through, and they noticed that there were a lack of resources where you could get food. They call them food deserts, right? So like if this show was held in West Dallas and Lennox had asked me, you want some water, and we ran out of water and we had to go get some water, we'd have to drive on the freeway to get it because in West Dallas, there are no stores. So they closed down one of the last of the few stores, Super Saver. I saw it this morning earlier. And I said they closed it down. So I'm going to take a trip. You know how I do it. I do my thing. So I'm going to take a trip to West Dallas to stand in the parking lot of a spot where there should be food. Now check this out. They closed it down. They said, well, we closing it down because we can't sustain it. Because according to them, they said, well, we have too much theft going on, you know. So too much theft going on. They alluded to it in the article, in the newscast. They alluded to it. But you know, if you live in a country where someone comes into your store and they steal, and what are they stealing? I don't know what this is about. But I tell you, a lot of times in the African American community, liquor stores never close, right? And I assume they never have any theft either, right? But you know, a place where you can buy fresh produce, they close. Super Saver. I believe that was the name of the place. There are no Krogers there. There are no Menus there. And check this out. You would not believe this. I was on a tour of South Dallas, sunny South Dallas, where the sun never stops shining. Yeah, I can see it right now, still shining. And they're talking about closing the Menus down on MLK. Yeah, Harrison Blair told me that. You know, the Dallas Black Chamber of Commerce president told me that. They're thinking about closing it down. So we see this epidemic, endemic, if you will. Epidemic is worldwide. Endemic is like a little localized. So it's localized that we see it happening in black and brown communities, mostly black communities, because despite the fact that we say we have food deserts, in the Hispanic community, they always have these little stores they go to. The meat market stores and these stores like that. But when it comes to our people, black people, when it comes to that, we have them closed down. And Oak Cliff, since it's my hood, let me go ahead and talk about environmental justice or injustice, if you will. So you're driving on Wheatland Road, and you're going west on Wheatland Road, and you just left Sam's, right? So you left Sam's, and you go down the street on Wheatland, and then you pass Walmart. Walmart's here, Sam's down here. But yet Walmart and Sam's are owned by the same people. And Walmart says that we're leaving, but it's owned by Sam's, Walmart, same people. and they saying that we need to close. For whatever reason, they said we need to close. Who were they competing against? They were competing against themselves. How can you close something you're competing against? So they manufactured this situation in which they say, well, they blame it on black folk again. You Negroes are always stealing. That's what they want you to believe. So now you can feel bad about yourself because now they have left. When the reality of it all is they didn't leave because they left because of a business decision. Because they've been closing down Walmarts before. That is what I talked about when I was a commissioner in Grand Prairie. What are you going to do when you close down that spot? How long are you going to be open? Because we opened up a Walmart on 161, and my question to them when they opened up the Walmart on 161, you know where it's at in Grand Prairie, right? I said, what are you going to do with the Walmart that's on 20? Because I knew the track record of Sam's and Walmart, that corporation, the Walmart Corporation, was that they would do that. But my concern was a long-term effect of how it affected the community, not because it's a black community, not because it's a brown community, not because it's a white community, but because it is a community in which people eat. We have these big boxes. That's what they call them, big boxes. So that Walmart that's on 161 that was there when I was commissioner that I put in and I made the motion to put in, I made the same conversation with the people at Walmart, not to close down the Walmart on 20. I don't know who the hell in Dallas didn't make that same suggestion or hold the people responsible on Wheatland Road for that. And why? If not why, when they closed down that Walmart on Wheatland, that they did not say open something back up there. Because now we got that big box, because nothing can be at that Walmart on Wheatland except a grocery store. It's too damn big for anything else. And the message that was sent, like the same message is being sent in South Dallas, same message being sent in West Dallas, black people steal. It's always that message. But most theft that is done in stores is not from the people who shop. It's from the people who deliver and who work there. Seems that that's a problem that you have with the people you hire. That's an internal issue. It's not a outside external people issue. But lo and behold, what's going to happen in West Dallas? Because we already lost the Walmart on Wheatland. And oh, by the way, they did open up another store down the road that is now also, can't think of the name of it right now, but they opened up another store down the road that now does not compete with Sam's Club, but it just proves that that neighborhood, that zip code, can support more than one store. How can you have a country that prides itself on making sure at Thanksgiving that even the least of us can have a turkey, can't have a bologna sandwich the other 364 days of the year? Go figure. But go figure this. Check this out. Work with me, if you will. Just come on, work with me. I ain't gonna be long. Zoning commissioner, Grand Prairie. I set out the message that if you're going to go ahead and build on 161, don't close down on 20. They decided they wasn't going to do that. They told me. They said, we're not going to do it. Okay. See, that is what has to be asked. Some people don't do that. And then after something's said and done, they don't say, hey, come on, why are you doing this? You go look at the records. It's there. Commissioner Gray said, are you going to close down 1 on 20? But check this out. As a zoning commissioner, as a city council member, who in West Dallas called up the Super Saver, called them up and say, why are you closing? Who in Oak Cliff didn't call up Wheatland and say, call up Sam's and call up Walmart, shall I say, and say, why are you closing? When you going to put something else up there? That was part of what we were supposed to do at Red Bear Mall. They were supposed to have another store at Red Bear Mall. Then they said, oh, no, we're not going to do that. Nobody held a press conference and said, you guys cheated on the word. You told me you was. No one's holding them accountable. I can't get a bologna sandwich. But nobody's holding nobody accountable. You got to hold people accountable. 26 hold people accountable for this. Hold them accountable for it. Somebody at City Hall, somebody in West Dallas needs to call down there and say, we're having too many food deserts. I have to go all the way to 67 to go shopping now. And I live on Hampton, the north end of Hampton. That's a food desert. But what makes it more embarrassing is nobody offered the question. Nobody said anything. That I have to listen and hear this on the news this morning. And I'm here saying now, what the hell is going on? Marvin Gaye said, what's going on? In this new era, I just want to go ahead and ask, what the hell is going on? But once you know what the hell is going on and you don't like it, it's time for you to do something about it. So this message, along with the other messages that we'll be doing in the upcoming weeks, is to get you to ask and also do. The champ is here. Loved by many, hated by few, respected by all. Second to none. Thank you for tuning in.